Yeah. Trevor Wig. Oh, there we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Allie's Advocacy for TBI. Gonna get on a bit of housekeeping notes, and if you see me going quiet for a little bit, generally I don't eat on these podcasts, but lately my potassium has been a tick low, so I need to munch on some last banana. I need to munch on. Anyways, a little bit of housekeeping notes, and some of the stuff I'm going to make mention of. I'm going to see if I can get the volunteers I have on Volunteer Match to do some ads for TBI readers that will go on this podcast. When I do podcasts and everything, the ads they do will be the ones you guys see. Look, banana. Look. Okay. No guest speakers today. But I will have a guest speaker on the 19th, the 22nd, and potentially 29th. I'm getting it kind of scheduled, lined out when we're going to have like test runs for the them to come on and what we'll talk about. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when I do a preview of an ad that can be like one that volunteers can work on. I'm not going to be, well, I can actually do the ad myself, but if the volunteers want to do ads themselves for the YouTube podcast, they're more than welcome to do that. Okay, if you live in the US, you can tell the winter weather is attacking us, and it stinks. So if you're getting blasted by cold weather, the snow, and everything else, prayers are with you. I hate the cold. I'll go over legislation drafting at the very end, and once I finish this banana. Those of you who watch the podcast, I would like you to comment below for your tips for empowerment for other traumatic brain disorder, or just for anyone who's going through a difficult time. I'll let you through my notes real quick. Okay, I'm going to be posting my podcast, the podcast I love watching on either here on my laptop that I'm doing the podcast on, or on my TV, on my Google TV, and I'll tag them in the chat here in a bit. That would be Three Southern Cats and Mama. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. OMG, it's Wicks. That dude's in Florida. And God, I love making jokes about Florida, but I have a friend someone I grew up with in dance that is entertainment. It's in there. He's in the entertainment field now, and he lives in Florida. So it's very amusing to watch his videos. Steve Ram, he talks about politics, and he's one of the ones that it helps me understand everything that's going on. Girl with the Pilates mats. That's one of the exercise videos I like to watch. Popcorn Planet. You know that we've got a crazy, hectic mess of a life, and we have crazy things going on. And frankly, it's just nice to know that there's other people that have craziness going on in their life, that we're not the only ones that have really strange things going on, whether it be medical or whatever. Snyder reports. He's the other political. Um, neither of them like really are involved in politics, but they're like advocate. I think that's. I don't think they're involved in politics, but they um, do their research and everything. New Heights. That's the one that Cred. Oh, it's the Kelsey brothers. That's the one they do, and I get a kick out of it. Jasmine and Dapper. Nico Ortiz. He's one of the veterans that I follow. I've I've followed him. He's one of the ones I've followed since I used to have a TikTok account. Don't know more. Dalen Spratt. Um, he goes around like to cemeteries and talk as like one of those spirit talker gadgets, and it's just neat to watch those. Drew Talbert. Um, no, don't stop meowing. The kitties are hilarious on that video, just like Three Southern Cats and Mama. Kitties are hilarious. The Point Shop, and the Point Shop I can really relate to because of the fact it has to do with dancing. Okay, one thing straight. I never in my life have danced in point shoes, but my dance teacher did dance in point shoes at one time. So, and then one of my friends I grew up with in dance, she danced in point shoes, and in our senior year, she did a dance in point. Her senior year dance was in point shoes. I think Lynette's dance was in point shoes. Um, so watching that brings back some memories of stories I was told of what it was like dancing in point. Alrighty, before I get on to the ads, now I can type. See if I can tag. Okay, these are the people I follow. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Okay, now to the outs. Okay, first one is, and I'm going to be looking at the notebook because I don't have any of this memorized. This is just came off the top of my head this morning, which is how a lot of stuff happens. Monday, positive TBI stories and what is happening within our community. Yeah. Wednesdays, sponsors, patreon.com/Ms. Allie. Then also could be businesses in Stillwater or the ones my friends and family own or work at. And then, of course, TBI disability organizations. Fridays are for disability issues, politics, advocacy, and showing how to draft legislation. Test calls will be made on YouTube in one or 2 days in advance. As long or as short as needed to help guests prepare for guest spot. And I've already told the 3 guests who are going to be coming on about this that I was going to be recording the calls. And if you're wondering why I want to record the calls, it is so it can help traumatic brain injury survivors see like how they might want to work on their communication skills, how with interacting with people, or just observing the communication between people and everyone. And this is to help them with that stuff, like with their speech therapy, and with other therapies they might be doing and everything. That is the only reason why I'm doing this, is because I remember how much it's helped me just having fun observing people and everything, and how that's helped me. Sometimes it's also been a disadvantage because I can't always control my side effects, and sometimes there's moments when I get frustrated. So, and when I get frustrated, I'll just start behaving in a way that I automatically know it's going to annoy the hell out of the person. So, I'll just do it. Especially if it's a political matter. It's like, find a way to shut them up and make them think, but never works. Because I don't think. Okay, second ad. And by the side comments I just made, that doesn't need to go on the ad, but those were side comments I just wanted to make to explain things. Second ad, as I said, don't be afraid to talk with someone if you need to. Counselors are a great resource for you. They can help figure out much of the messiness that is called life. Okay, that is the end of that. Now for a side note, again, to kind of explain this. When I was attending Rose State and when I should have been diagnosed with PTSD instead of 2015, my friends that I grew up with in dance really helped me to see that um, I should be going to someone to talk to a counselor, to talk to him about my flashback. Of course, I really didn't say what was going through my head. The only people I'd tell it to were my friends with the dance. Of course, that was many times tears on the phone. Ugh. But the only reason I did not tell the counselor was there was a fear I'd be put in a straitjacket, put in a mental place, and not really heard. And I have reasons for thinking that. Um, but it's just being able to talk to someone who's going to listen is really helpful, especially if it's a counselor who's been trained and is licensed in cognitive behavioral therapy, which is what my counselor that I saw twice a month last year, and that I will be seeing once a month for the rest until the end of time or whenever it gets better or whatever the case is. Um, she is trained in and everything. So right now it's just going to be once a month for the rest of the year, and probably I don't know how it's going to be for me, but I think I might want to make a goal for by the end of the year, look at making it every 3 months or something. You know, something like goal worthy like that to try to strive to improve on and everything. Try to do something but it's to help improve one's mental health and everything. No one forced me to go into counseling. Let's get that clear. No one forced me to go into counseling. Yes, it was a conversation between the doctors and I. Doctors didn't force me or try to convince me. Doctors only asked me questions, and I was straightforward with them. And the only reason for that is because of the conversations I had with the friends I grew up with at the dance studio and that I knew growing up in Chandler through like FHA or hanging out, my cousin Crystal or whatever else. There's lots of other ways I know people in Chandler. Lifeguarding, dance, school organizations, what have you. Um, but I got there were some things going on. By end of July, mid August, I took the initiative to go to some place where I had previously had counseling. Um, went there and I had talked to the person on Facebook that runs the place, and she said they had a new counselor that was certified in cognitive behavioral therapy. That would be really good for me. So I went there and I have been loving it since. Um, we worked on the 5 months that I was in there. It was to focus on understanding my emotions and getting a handle on stupid PTSD. And yes, I've got goals for this new year, and I'm not going to be delving too deep into every month what it will be going on and everything. But the general, the reason why I'm going to be doing it for why I'm going to be focused on everything for the rest of the year and everything else and whatever else I go down is because of stats with traumatic brain injury. The statistics show that one of the key things that are affected by a traumatic brain injury our relationships, whether it be family, friendships, what have you. So that is what my new goal is to work on, improving. So I will be doing that. And so that is to work on all of that. Oh, talk about the legislation. I have actually been writing on the legislation. I've been more working on getting stuff laid out on my calendar for guests and that type of stuff. That's why I was showing my little planner. And I'm also offering the guests that I've got slated to come on this month to come back to for February or March to talk about advocacy for traumatic brain injury that's going on in their state to help traumatic brain injury survivors. Nope, don't have anything else written. But I knew there was some other stuff I was wanting to talk. During it, I knew there was some other stuff I was wanting to talk about that I did with the legislation I was drafting. So you got some stuff for the critical emergency response team, the citizen emergency response team, laid out that stuff. And I can probably go do some driving around for that. Maybe. Then see emergency management. Write down some stuff for emergency management. Get all the same things with them for tribal and non-tribal. Writing notes so I'll remember what to put in the legislation I'm wanting to draft. Tribal, non-tribal government. Okie doke. Whatever I got written in both citizen emergency response team and emergency management, they're both going to go in both. Trainings. Oh, dang it. Oh. I think when I was on emergency management, we did some community outreach. Now I'm going to put that on here. Do community outreach. Like, just to, like, say if it's a hot day or something, like hot day, do like something where you have drinks and pamphlet flyers on what to do when it's hot to prevent heat stroke, or do some type of thing when you know you got bad weather up or that's coming up, do some type of thing for that, for the community outreach. CK, travel, non-travel, trainings, community outreach. Okay, rural communities, which I come from, I grew up in, I loved pieces. Let's get one thing straight. You can truly only make fun of rural communities if you were born and raised in one, because that's the only way you're going to know what goes on in a rural community. Let's see. Dang it. See, for rural communities. Can have like little fun 5Ks. Have fun 5Ks. Make them educational. Etc. Yeah. Have sports / band / academic. So what am I thinking of? Contest. To raise money for those in community with TBI. Okay, that's all I can think of right now. I'll have to talk to some of the people I grew up with back in my hometown of Wellston to get an idea of, to get some more thinking process out. Thought out process of everything I'm thinking of. Clinics, small hospitals, darn. See, yeah, workshops. And the workshops and the other things that clinics do, it could coincide with like emergency management and citizen emergency response team. That's kind of like one neat thing you can do when it's a rural community and like rural county district and everything. Everyone can just band together. So you can do workshops. Then, besides there being clinics that you go to for health, you can do clinics to raise awareness or help train others. Oh, I'm going to do some more diving into that stuff. Plus, the person that I have on Friday, hopefully she'll be able to help line out some more stuff I need to bring into the legislation and everything. So I hope everyone's doing wonderful. I hope you're staying warm and everything. And that is all. I will talk to you later. And if you have a TBI, I hope you're doing wonderful in your recovery. And never say never, even when you think you've taken your last step.